uniforms too. No, 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 no. Oh, yeah. I'm in chains, you're in chains too. Our uniforms and you are uniforms too. I'm a prisoner, you're a prisoner too, Mr. Jailer. Oh, I have fears, you have fears too. I'll die, but you yourself will die too. Life is beautiful, don't you think so too, Mr. Jailer? I'm talking to Jailer. Stop calling me a prisoner. Let him eat with us and be first to cast a stone, Mr. Jailer. Mr. Jailer. You suppress.
Enough of the singing. Hey, beautiful people. Hope you all are doing very well today. Welcome back to the Young, Black, and Independent Show, where we discuss a variety of topics to help young Black folks live lives that are spiritually fulfilled, lives that are value added, lives that are less materialistic, and lives that are financially independent. I'm your host, Sil, and today I want us to discuss why forgiveness is important. So the importance of forgiveness. The reason why I started with Asa Jailer is because a lot of times we hold back our forgiveness because we think we're punishing the other person. No. Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. And this simply means don't hold back forgiveness if you need forgiveness. She said, I'll die, you will die too. So when you choose to hold back your forgiveness from those who need it or from those who have offended you, you are literally throwing stones. When you have a glass house, that stone just might land on your own home. So I want you to think about it and just come to a compromise in order to have a better life. So if more people knew who the greatest benefactor of forgiveness was, they will be more willing to forgive. A lot of people, there's a lot of alibi about forgiveness being something that is precious to the person who has been offended. No, it's not. It's precious to the person who has offended you. Let me explain. So when you forgive, you are actually doing it for yourself, not for the other person. Yeah, they're not deserving of it. Obviously, they're not. Let me not take this topic as a joke. I know that there's so many people out there who are hurting really badly as a result of the things that have been done to them. I can't even begin to imagine the kind of things that you've been through. But I want you to know why it is important for you to forgive today, because you're not doing it for that person who hurt you. You're doing it for your own self. If you know how unforgiveness affects you, you would understand the graveness or the gravity of forgiving, of unforgiveness, and you will do everything within your powers to forgive those who have offended you. So here are a few reasons, a few astounding reasons why you should forgive and why forgiveness will do you so much good. The first thing is that forgiveness suppresses bitterness, anger, and resentment. So when you have a forgiving heart, there's no room for disgruntlement and frustrations. Imagine a scenario where someone gossiped about you and ruined your reputation. the natural instinct is to be bitter towards that individual. However, choosing to forgive them despite the fact that they are undeserving frees you from that burning need to see them punished or hurt. Those who hold on to unforgiveness never end well. Even in biblical stories, there is proof that this is true. You remember the story of Absalom who raped his brother's sister. I think they're the kids of King David. When he raped Tamara, his brother was very upset with him because when it was reported to his father, King David, what Absalom had done, I hope I'm saying the story right, but one of the brothers raped the sister, and the other brother was upset because their father did not punish the perpetrator of the act. Now, a lot of times when we don't want to forgive people, when we're bitter and resentful, it's because that person has not been punished. Sometimes we just natural instinct, we find satisfaction when the person who has hurt us is going through pain. We're just satisfied naturally. That's just natural instinct. Sorry that I'm laughing, but I have been through it and I have wanted them hurt so badly that if you know the silly things I did, my God. And that's what happened to David's son. So this other brother just kept it in his heart, and every single day after that rape incident, he plotted his revenge. And when he actually did revenge, it was horrible. He killed his brother. He literally had blood on his hands because he took matters in his own hands. He did not allow the wrath of God to prevail. And how did he end? He ended up so badly. You can go and find the story in the Bible. If I check, it is going to be 2 Samuel chapter 13, the rape of Tamar. It's not Tamara, Tamar. Yeah, the rape of Tamar. So you can go to 2 Samuel chapter 13 and you will find the story there. So it was Absalom who raped, and Ammon became very upset and ended up killing Absalom with his own hands, blood in his hands, literally. That's what unforgiveness does to you, makes you bitter. The next thing that we'll talk about, the next thing that unforgiveness does to you is it optimizes. Why it's important to forgive is that it will optimize your mental, emotional, and physical health. So letting go of the need to revenge is a wonderful thing to do. When you go or when you carry on just pulling a long face and carrying the baggage containing a list of every single person and every single thing that has been done against you in the past, you are voluntarily killing yourself. But when you forgive, you make room for peace, joy, love, a sound mind, and all the gifts of the Holy Spirit, quite frankly. So it's going to optimize your mental health because obviously when you're happy, your body produces happy hormones, oxytocin, and you obviously have a better quality of life. So why do you choose a poor quality if you know better? Sorry about that helicopter flying over me. It's quite noisy. Why is it so close? I don't know. But let's move on to the third important reason why you should forgive. Forgiveness makes you a benefactor of God's mercy. For Christians like me, you must realize that forgiveness is what God does when He marks cancelled over your debt of sin. When you sin, you owe God. it's a debt. And he will cancel it. When he cancels it, he has forgiven you. There isn't anything we can humanly do to merit God's forgiveness. You don't want to be like that servant whose master forgave him and cancelled his debt. But as soon as he left there, he went and found the person who was owing him and started choking him. Can you imagine that? Okay, imagine a scenario where someone does something to you. You tell them that, okay, I've forgiven you. And then they leave and they go and start killing someone else who has done the same thing to them. Isn't that wicked? Of course, the king, when he found out about this man's behavior, he immediately ordered for him to be thrown into prison. So, I suppose what I'm saying is that if you do not forgive, you do not benefit from God's mercy, because you need God's forgiveness. And so if you're holding back forgiveness from another person, you're like that servant who is forgiven, but you go on to choke the other person who is owing you. It's not fair. Like my son says, it's not fair. It's not fair, mommy. So it's not fair. You should seek to be a benefactor of God's mercy by forgiving. Point number 4 is forgiveness enables you to practice God's most important commandment. So you all know that the 2 biggest commandments is love your God, and the second one is love your neighbor as yourself. So love, it really is the center of the world. Favoring forgiveness over resentment means you're choosing love over hate. The greatest commandment of all is that of love. The world was created out of love, and it shall only be a better place out of love. When we love our neighbor the way we love ourselves, we will do everything within our powers to treat them in a way that we would like to be treated. We would forgive them the same way that we expect God to forgive us. Does that make sense? I'm sure it does. Point number 5 is forgiveness catapults you into a journey of healing and progress to your God-given destiny. There are many plans in your heart, I suppose, but it is the Lord's purpose that shall prevail. When you decide to forgive, you shall experience serenity and inner peace. Once you have decided to let go of any feelings of vengeance, it is unlikely that you will deliberately visit that hurt or pain again. It may occur, but you will not deliberately go to search, dig, and, dwell in the victimhood mentality. You will start to heal the scar that the incident caused you. And as you heal, you will become happier and susceptible to receiving God's blessings and favor. You will be en route to your destiny as you leave your baggage behind and proceed to your journey, to your destiny with a baggage-free life. Carrying people in your heart can be very heavy indeed. It will just, make your journey towards financial independence difficult. Why do you want to make your life difficult when you can make it easier? Why do you want to carry a bag as you go on a journey when you can travel light, or you can, just board the plane and go? Why do you want to carry baggages if you can just board the plane and go? So this is what forgiving is all about. It's about living a life free of baggage. Living your best life, really. That's what forgiveness is about. That's the most important thing about forgiveness. Just being able to have peace and serenity. Yeah, just to have peace and serenity. I think it's really going to be a good thing if you try it out. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm asking you to consider the importance of forgiveness and to try it out. If you want to read this article about the importance of forgiveness, please go on to www.youngandindependent.com. You should also join us on Facebook, Young and Independent Community, on YouTube, Young and Independent, on Instagram, Young and Independent 35, and on Twitter, Young and Independent. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and that you should consider the advantages of forgiveness over the disadvantages. Thank you so much for listening, and please share this with your friends so that our world may be a better place. In our next episode, we shall tell you how you can go about forgiving. It can be very difficult, but we have some tips for you that will be extremely useful. So stay tuned. Bye guys, and do take care.